You shouldn't interfere.
Tell about the guy offering money for in the cars.
And then she started going with my sister Edie. Started going with this lad, Billy Wilson. This was when the booze was on. The booze got worth more money in the States.
Oh, because of Prohibition.
Yeah. Before you had all home brewery, black market stuff. And they offered him $1,000 in this car if he would take these trips back and forth across the border. But he didn't go. But then it was so bad they'd give you a brand new Chevy. They took the back seat out, all upholstery and everything. And they could put 200 gallons of them square cans in there, piling in. And little Clayton Bernard, he's another pal I had, he come up there one morning and decided that to hang with a dozen chicks and a dog after her. He said, one of these cars got stuck just down at the far corner of our place in the highway. It was in the spring of the year. And we were chicken. We were going to pack that booze out of there and hang her in the fence line, but we never did. The police finally got the car and the booze. But they would give you that car and $1,000 if you deliver that in Winnipeg. And that was 220% overproof. And it was in the paper. That's what the police, is this before antifreeze? See?
Right.
The police in the city of Winnipeg, that's how they ran their cars in the wintertime, was this overproof alcohol. And lots of it. The only trouble with it would boil it.
Yeah.
You had to watch it pretty close. She'd go down. There was a lot of them used it with water, Cut it with just ordinary alcohol and cut it with water. That was allowable for that purpose.
Yeah.
At one time. And the hockey boys from Pilot Mountain, they went over to Swan Lake to play hockey. And Clark Winram, he bought a nice little Chevy, something like a coupe, only it was cloth top.
Right.
Yeah, I guess it was 2 or 3 of them. And they went over there and they had coal oil in their right. And the hose broke and they burned her up. I never thought of it.
I guess that even happened with the alcohol. The hose ever broke with the alcohol.
Yeah.
It was strong enough.
She was gone. But when they would run in booze and there's a bunch of them there that was running this booze. They had about a 2-ton truck, and they were built rugged, international 2-ton truck, and they bolted a motor braid up on the front of it. And when the police got too close to them, they just took off. They go anywhere with the thing, right through a fence. They just stop for a minute, just go right through. With that motor blade just cut the fence like butter, You never get them with that thing.
They just go right cross country.
Pardon?
And they go right cross country.
Yeah, they were rugged things. And they had pretty big tires on them way back then, bigger than average. International built a real heavy line of stuff. And they had an Essex Super 6 car and a Cadillac, the police did. One of these days, they needed good vehicles chasing these guys, these bank robbers. This was all going on at one time. Bootlegging, bank robbers, you name it. And they put them across the road to block the road. They knew these guys were coming. They came with that international truck. They hit that old Essex car and they just sent her flying. Well, they had to do something.
Yeah.
They either get caught, they maybe end up in an accident and not stay there or what, but they had a chance and they took it and they got away.
Got a wild bunch back then, wasn't it?
Well, they were desperate. And then they started, pigs were worth more in the States, and they were in Canada, and they were in the States. So the guys, and wheat was worth more in the States than it was in Canada. And the boys would take a load of wheat down and bring back pigs. And they caught one guy there somewhere south of Crystal City. They were 5 miles from Princeton, but 4 miles from the border, Crystal City. He caught this guy with this load of pigs, and he shot him right there in the wagon. Every one, they had cholera. He said, if you ain't buried tomorrow night when I get it, I'll be over to see you.
Oh, so they were diseased pigs, I guess, and that's why they were trying to stop him from coming across
finally they caught Cecil McKittrick, and he had a beautiful wagon and a beautiful team of horses. So they seized the whole works, and he had a load of wheat going down, and so he wasn't the only one, but he was one in particular I remember about. So they had a sale in Crystal City of all this stuff they seized, and nobody had bid on it. So Cecil got it back for next to nothing. His wagon and his team of horses. That's the way they were in those days. They'd stick together.
I thought they had rum in this wheat too sometimes.
Oh, well, that's what. Oh, that was another. That wasn't in the wheat. This guy, this farmer near Cartwright, Manitoba, he was right on the border too. He got up one morning and he could see